Can I ask you something honestly? How many times have you thought about starting a side business and then quietly talked yourself out of it before you even opened a single tab or wrote down a single idea? Because I did that for years, and I had a really convincing list of reasons why now wasn't the time, why I wasn't ready, why someone else was probably already doing it better. And it turns out most of those reasons had a name. And once I knew the name, I could actually do something about it. Before we dive in, I have something for you. If you've been stuck in the cycle of overthinking and not knowing where to begin, I made a free guide called Done Starting Over. It walks you through exactly how to break that cycle and take your first real step. The link is in the description below. It's the very first one you'll see, so go grab it now and come back whenever you're ready. I'm Jenny, founder of The Bold Biz, and this channel is for women over 40 who are ready to build something of their own without the hustle, the burnout, or the pressure to be perfect. If that sounds like you, please subscribe. I post new videos every Thursday, and I would love to have you here every week. Now, today's video is one I've been thinking about for a long time, and I genuinely believe it might be one of the most important ones I record. Because we talk a lot about the practical side of building a business, what to sell, what platforms to use, how to grow, and all of that matters, of course. But here's what I know from my own 4 years of doing this, stumbling through it, and finally finding my footing. The practical stuff is rarely what stops us. It's the stuff going on in our heads. So today I want to name it, all of it, honestly and openly, because I've personally felt every single one of these fears at some point in my own side business journey. And this isn't me talking to you from some elevated place where I've got it all figured out. This is me sitting right next to you saying, I know exactly how this feels, and here's what helped me. I've collected the 7 biggest fears that women in midlife voice when they're thinking about starting a side business. And we're going to go through every single one of them today. So let's get started. The first fear, and the most common one I hear, is this: am I too late? And I want to start here because I think it's the fear that quietly sits underneath all the other fears. Even when women don't say it out loud, it's often there in the background, just whispering away. And here's why I think this fear is so specific to midlife. Most of us in our 40s and 50s have spent the last 2 decades in a kind of steady rhythm. We built our careers, we raised our families, we figured out how to manage a household and a relationship, aging parents perhaps, and everything else life threw at us. And somewhere along the way, we quietly stopped starting new things. We became competent. We became the person who knew what she was doing. And starting a side business from scratch means becoming a beginner again. And honestly, that's uncomfortable when you're not used to being the beginner. So here's the thing, and I really want you to hold on to this. The world has shifted. The job market has shifted. With AI coming into the workforce in full force right now, job stability doesn't feel like what it felt like even a few years ago. And the general sense of shaky ground that a lot of us are feeling is making so many women think, what does my future actually look like? And if I want some kind of security that I've built myself on my own terms, can I still do that? The answer is yes. And not just a polite yes, but a data-backed yes. Here are some numbers I want you to hold on to. The average woman pivots careers at 39. The average female entrepreneur is 42 when she starts her first business. And the average first-time female millionaire is 49. 49 ladies. And then you've got women like Martha Stewart, who's built an entire empire in her 40s and 50s. Vera Wang, who didn't design her first wedding dress until she was 40. Mel Robbins, who was broke and in debt in her late 30s before she became one of the most well-known voices in personal development in the world. You are not late. You're right on time. And honestly, You've got something that a 23-year-old entrepreneur simply doesn't have. And that is decades of life experience, hard-won skills, and the kind of perspective that only comes from having actually lived. That's not a disadvantage. That is your edge. The second fear is what I call the direction paralysis question. And it shows up in a few different ways. I don't know what to sell. I've got too many ideas. I've got no ideas. How do I even pick something that actually makes money? I've got skills, but I don't know how to turn them into a business. And I felt all of those myself, genuinely. I'm a graphic designer by trade, but in the beginning, I didn't want to freelance and just trade more hours for dollars because that felt like creating just another job for myself. And with the family commitments I have, there just isn't enough room to cap my income at however many extra hours per week I could work. So I needed to build something I could scale, something that could make money even when I wasn't working. And for me, the answer was digital products in some shape or form, because you can honestly start incredibly small. We're talking a simple PDF guide, a 1-hour tutorial, a Canva template, a tiny specific little thing that solves one problem for one person. And you can package it, price it, and sell it without spending a fortune to get started. And here's what I got wrong in the beginning, because I thought I needed to go big right away. I kept thinking if I create a big course, I'll make more money faster. But actually, starting small is so much smarter because a low-ticket product is easier to sell. The threshold to buy is lower, and more importantly, it gives you the chance to practice the skill of selling, to build your confidence, and to learn how to talk about what you offer in a way that feels natural and aligned with who you are. And then once you figure that out, you can build upward from there. As for figuring out what to sell in the first place, here's what I'd suggest. Grab a big piece of paper and just write down everything you could teach, share, package, or turn into some kind of guide. And I really do mean everything. How to get your kids to sleep, how to find a great golf swing, the best carbonara recipe in the world, interior decorating, pet care, navigating a difficult conversation with a teenager. There is a market for all of it. And then once you've got your list, you can run it through my 4-filter framework to figure out which idea is the best fit for your actual life right now. So the 4 filters are skills, time, energy, and momentum. And the full framework is inside the second chapter starter kit, which you'll also find linked in the description below. Fear number 3 is one I hear constantly, and it's completely valid. So I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Midlife women are often carrying so much on their plate. Full-time jobs, kids, aging parents, partners, the house, the mental load of it all. And I know that because I live it too. But here's some gentle, tough love. Because most of us have more pockets of time than we think we do. We're just spending them in ways we don't always notice. Think about the time you spend on Netflix in a week. The time you spend scrolling on social media. And even if you just reclaimed one of those hours, just one, and put it towards building something of your own, that would be enough to start. And in today's world, you can genuinely work from your phone in the gaps. On the bus, in the car while your partner's driving, sitting in the pickup line at school, even, and I say this without judgment, on the bathroom break that has become your only 5 minutes of peace in the whole day. The key is to start so small that it genuinely doesn't feel overwhelming. So don't think about building a business. Just think about doing one small thing today. Write one email, record one short video, draft one post. That's it. Just one small thing. That's honestly how I started. Tiny and inconsistently at first, but over time, those tiny moments compounded into something real. And once you start seeing what's possible in just a few hours a week, you'll naturally want to protect that time and make more of it. Marie Forleo, who built a multi-million-dollar business helping women do exactly this kind of thing, has a phrase I love and come back to all the time. She says everything is figure-outable. And the truth is, if you figured something out that someone else hasn't yet, you've got something to offer. It's honestly that simple. You're not selling perfection, you're sharing a path. And your lived experience, the messy middle, the things you've learned the hard way, that's often more valuable to your audience than polished expertise. Because it's real, it's relatable, and it gives people hope that they can do it too. So the next time imposter syndrome taps you on the shoulder and asks, "Who are you to do this?" I want you to answer back, "I'm someone who figured something out that someone else is still struggling with, and I'm going to share it." Fear number 6 is the financial fear, and it's a real one, especially for women who watch their savings get eaten by courses and memberships and tools that didn't deliver on their promises. And I spent a lot of money in the early days of my journey chasing shortcuts. So I really want to save you from that if I can. Here's the truth. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to start. Most of the software I use have free plans, so you can genuinely get started for well under $100 a month for all the tools you need to get started. And in many cases, completely for free. YouTube is free, the Bold Biz Collective is free, which is my membership, and the information you need to get started is absolutely available to you right now, a single cent. And my advice when it comes to investing money in your business is this: don't buy a course or a coach or a mastermind until you've done everything you possibly can for free. And you've got actual traction, some real evidence that your idea is working. Then, when you're ready to level up and you've got the money to invest, you'll be in a much better position to use that investment well, because you'll actually understand what you need. So start small, start free, and let the business pay for its own growth. And fear number 7, the last one. This is a big one. This was honestly my biggest blocker of all. I don't want to be cringy on social media. I don't want to film myself. Watching myself back makes me want to disappear. I'm terrified of what people will say. I don't want to become one of those people doing trendy dances in front of their kitchen and calling it content. Ladies, I felt all of this deeply and for a long time, and it really held me back in my business. For years, I tried to build a business where I didn't have to show up in any way. The faceless Instagram accounts, the Amazon KDP, coloring books, the print-on-demand shops. I even spent weeks creating an AI avatar for myself, thinking that would solve the problem. And honestly, some of those approaches can work for certain types of businesses. But here's where I eventually landed for myself. I'm building a personal brand. I want to help women start businesses. And if I'm not willing to show up and be real and be seen, how am I going to convince anyone else that they can do it? So I had to figure out how to get comfortable being visible. And here's what finally worked for me. I started with my voice first because I launched the podcast in November and I could record it in sweatpants with no makeup on any day of the week and nobody would see my face. And that was such a relief. It gave me a way to show up consistently without the visual pressure. And then last year, I did a 30-day YouTube Shorts challenge just for myself. 1 short per day, bad lighting, no script, no editing, just me talking for 30 to 60 seconds about something related to what I was building. And I want to be clear that I didn't care if anyone watched. The whole point was just to get used to being in front of the camera, to stop flinching when I saw my own face on the screen, to stop obsessing over every filler word and awkward pause. And it actually worked, because visibility is honestly a muscle, and the only way to build it is to use it, even imperfectly, even privately, even when you think nobody's watching. Now I script my content because that's what works for me right now. I use a teleprompter app, and it means I can stay confident and clear without losing my train of thought mid-sentence. And there's absolutely no shame in that. You use the tools that help you show up. But if your dream is to build a personal brand and connect with real people, you're going to have to step into visibility at some point. And the good news is you don't have to feel ready. You just have to start. Okay, ladies, 7 fears, all of them valid, all of them very real, and all of them workable. I want you to do something after you finish watching this video. Grab a piece of paper and write down which of these 7 fears is the loudest one for you right now. Just one. The one sitting in your chest the most heavily. And then I want you to remember that you're not the first woman to feel it. I felt it. Every woman who's ever built something has felt it. And the ones who've built something didn't do it because the fear had gone away. They did it while the fear was still there. Everything we just talked about, the 7 thoughts, the quiet reframes, all of it, I'm pulling it into a free guide, and I'm calling it the Quiet List. It's for the women who want to build a side business in her second chapter, but doesn't want to become someone she doesn't recognize to do it. It drops next week right here on this channel. If you want it the moment it goes live, just subscribe and turn on the bell. I'll announce it here first. And if you're sitting with a few of these fears right now and you're wondering where even to begin, that free Done Starting Over guide I mentioned at the start walks you through exactly how to break the cycle of overthinking and take your first real step. The link is in the description, and it's the very first one you'll see. And if this video resonated with you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more women find this content. And subscribe for a new video every Thursday. I'll see you next week, and in the meantime, stay bold, ladies. Bye for now.